this is just like an indication of like everything can be going like perfect. You'll feel like everything is like going according to plan, and then you're back at home with no car and you're turning 28 in 2 months. That's just it. That's what it is. Like, that's where I'm at. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kiana D. For those who are new, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. Foremost, about 10 months ago, I posted a video here on YouTube about moving out of my apartment. It is not something that I wanted to do, but it is something that was very much so necessary at the time. I don't regret it. I'm going to link that video somewhere up in the, somewhere, so that you can watch that if you're kind of behind, if you want to know why I moved out. That video talks all about that. But today I'm pretty much going to talk about how, what I've been up to since then. And so yeah, let's get into the video. So first and foremost, I moved out of my apartment on October 31st, 2021. November 1st, the following day, I started a brand new job after not working for 5, almost 6 months. My move from that apartment was supposed to be pretty quick, a pretty quick turnaround. I was not planning to move back home full time. Here we are 10 months later. I am still living at home. I'm currently filming this in my mother's guest room. So I moved out of that apartment, started a new job the next day, and put my stuff in storage, like pretty much just about everything, because it was supposed to be, like I mentioned, a pretty quick turnaround. 2 months max is how long I thought I would be in storage. My things would be in storage. I had found a new apartment fairly quickly. I think I found the new apartment before I moved out of my old apartment, or like right after. Put a deposit down on the unit. It was a brand new build, so I couldn't like move from my old apartment into the new apartment because I was waiting on the new apartment building to get done. But I did put a deposit down on the unit so that I can at least secure my spot. What happened? I decided to not move into that building because they kept pushing the move-in date back for that building. That move-in date got pushed back probably about 2 or 3 times before I actually decided, okay, I need to look at another option, because it kept getting pushed back. I think the time that I decided to not move into that building, my move-in date was looking at about like late March, maybe early April 2022. So it had got pushed back quite a bit from what it initially was when I first put the deposit down. I did forfeit some money, but not a whole lot. I was able to get my deposit back because the date being pushed back so many times was on them, but I was not able to get like my application fee and those kinds of things back. So that was fine for me. Like, it was just like, it is what it is. I have now found another option, also a new build, so I'm still waiting on that, but I'll give you all kind of pretty much an update on that once I get some more information. A lot as far as my living situation. So currently I am still living at home. Let's back up. What else? So moved out of that apartment November 1st. My birthday was November 12th. I turned 27. Not in my own apartment, not in my own space. That was definitely something that was, very, very hard for me, considering that, like, just turning 27, not wanting to be at home, like, just feeling like I'm, like, taking a step back. And now, 10 months later, 2 months from now, I'll be turning 28, just not in a great space. And it's very difficult, I'll be honest, just because and to be quite honest, my living situation at home is not, like, terrible by any means. I know we see a lot of people, specifically Black people, who talk about, like, how horrible it is living at home at, like, 18, 19, let alone 27, 28. I'm fortunate, blessed, absolutely, blessed to not be in that situation where I feel like living at home is absolutely terrible. But it's still just not my own space. And by the way, I do have on a shirt, it's like a halter. I'm at home, like, chilling, so. Nevertheless, living at home is not terrible. I live here with my mom, and pretty seamless, to be quite honest. Blessed enough where, I'm not actually having to pay bills or anything while I'm living here. Like, my mom is a godsend, I will say that. And yeah, I'm blessed in that sense, especially because prior to moving out of that apartment, I was not working for like 5 or 6 months. And so pretty much I was just living alone, paying my bills and things with no income, no work. So this has been, like, I think God's way of, like, allowing me to kind of get back on my feet as far as just catching up and being able to save a little bit before I move back out. That's what I'm gonna take it as. Was this a part of my plan to be here for this long? No, but have there been benefits of living here? over these last 10 months. Absolutely, without a doubt. I would be a fool if I said otherwise. But it's just something about, you know, being in your own space, having your own space. And so that has been really difficult. What else has happened? I graduated with my master's back in May of 2022. So a few months ago. It hasn't been long at all. And that was absolutely amazing. I was able to celebrate with a lot of my friends and family. Maybe I'll insert some clips of some of the things that I talk about throughout this video. But now I kind of feel like, you know, what's next as far as for my career is concerned. For those who know or don't know, I work in education. So I enjoy the work that I do now, but you know, after you receive a master's, it's kind of like, okay, so what's next? Like, how can I utilize these new skills that I've obtained? What does this look like? Like, what does next look like for me, so that I'm, you know, progressing? I didn't just get the master's to stay, you know, stagnant professionally. I definitely want to always be challenging myself and growing as a professional. But also there's other things that I want to do outside of like my 9-to-5 space, YouTube specifically, like trying to stay consistent on YouTube. And so that's also a struggle. Adulting is hard. Like, let me pause and say that. Sorry if you all can hear noise outside. I'll try and talk up over it, but adulting is hard. And so I think I'm mainly like, yes, giving a life update, but like, girl, adulting is hard, and sometimes it can feel like life is like chewing you up and spitting you out time and time again. You're constantly working toward things, and things are not going the way that you planned. Specifically for me, that was like moving out, looking for a new place to stay, not moving back home for this long, and graduating with my master's, and now trying to figure out what's next. Need I remind you all, a month ago, what's today, September 11th, so a month and like a week ago, my car went out on me. I have no car. So not only am I living back home, I have no car. So I have no place to live. God, do not let me say that. I have a place to live. I'm fortunate enough where obviously I have a place to live, but I don't have my like place that I call, you know, my space to live. I don't have a car. So now, fortunate enough where like I work hybrid for work. So 1 week I work from home, 1 week I work in the office, and you know, that has worked. My mom has been letting me drive her car because she, for the most part, works full-time from home. But that's just not convenient for me. Like, girl, that's not convenient for me. So what I think I'm going to actually start to do is doing a rental car on the weeks that I'm in the office, so that I can, like, at least have a car full-time on the weeks that I'm in the office, which is a nice lump sum of money. If you're wondering, like, girl, why don't you just buy a car? I'm getting ready to buy a car, y'all. I was supposed to buy a car when I graduated with my master's, and then I put it off until I found out what my living situation is going to be. And so my goal is to move and then buy the car. I don't want to do them out of order. I'm still trying to figure out, like, what is my living situation. Like, still waiting on that living situation to pan out. So move and then buy a car is my plan. But, like, this is just, like, an indication of, like, everything can be going, like, perfect. You'll feel like everything is like going according to plan, and then you're back at home with no car and you're turning 28 in 2 months. That's just it. That's what it is. Like, that's where I'm at with it. And so like right now I'm in good spirits, but like there are definitely moments where, y'all, I am like dragging my feet. I am like questioning, what am I doing? How am I in this situation? But all in all, like, I'm super blessed, and I have to like constantly remind myself that sometimes a setback is just that, a setback for, you know, the moment, and it's not like the end. A setback is not the end of everything, and I think that's the main thing that I'm like constantly having to remind myself, that a setback is a set up for a comeback. And so I'm just taking it one day at a time. I know things are going to eventually pan out for me in the way that they are supposed to be, and so yeah, I'm trying to think some other things I wanted to do. Oh yeah, another thing that I was doing is, so this is like kind of a weird subject, something that I hate talking about, something that I actually never talk about out loud outside of like my immediate friends and family, but like I was working on fixing my smile, mainly like my teeth, obviously trying to fix my smile, and that also was something that I'll insert clips probably, just because I was going to make a full vlog out of it, but because I've been set back because the dentist office that I was going to no longer accepts my insurance. Now I have to pretty much start the entire process over. I was down to the step of like getting pretty much getting everything fixed. I had picked how I wanted my smile to look, all these things, and now there has been another setback because now I have to pretty much start over. I was gonna have to pay like $2,000 out of pocket, and now I'm having to pay like $7,000 out of pocket, and that's a big difference, and I don't want to pay that difference when I could just find another dental office that does accept my insurance and pretty much start the process over. But for me, it's just annoying because this was going to be done by my 28th birthday, and now I don't know when it's going to be done by. So that is the main thing. Obviously, it's important for me to have somewhere to live. It's important for me to have a car. But y'all, when you have had an insecurity for so long in your life, and to get like down to the place where you're about to get it fixed, and then now you're set back, like, that's the worst of the worst. I know that sounds like such a dramatic thing to say, but like that, I feel like I took that the hardest. And that also, I just found this out probably like 2 weeks ago, probably coming up on 2 weeks now, where I found out my insurance, like, they just stopped taking, I mean, my dental office just stopped taking my insurance. Like, it just seems like it's one thing after another, and I'm pretty sure so many people can relate, where everything is like, it's one thing, if it's not one thing, it's another. Like, that's what I have found myself saying over the course of the last few months. If it ain't one thing, it's another. And that's the truth. You are not alone. Like, if you feel like everything is going opposite of what you're working for, opposite of what you're praying for, opposite of just what feels good to you, you're not alone. But you know, like I said, a setback is a setup for a comeback. And so I also want to talk about some things that I've been kind of doing just to remain positive, just to keep my spirits in a good place. Definitely been finding things that I enjoy to do. One, focusing on just my mental and physical health. I've been writing a whole lot more. I've been reading a ton. I've read several books since finishing my master's back in May, because I've been able to read for pleasure again, which I absolutely love. I've also been preparing for my move. Like, you know how they say, like, put yourself in alignment to receive the blessings that you want? I have been preparing for my move, y'all. I know that, like, I don't have a specific date, a specific time, a specific nothing, but I have been preparing myself for the move that I know is coming. All my friends keep asking me, like, you know, girl, what are you doing for your birthday? Which is, like, you know, obviously in 2 months. I'm like, I'm having an unpacking party. I don't know when it's gonna be, but I know I'm having it for my birthday. So I'm just speaking into existence that I will be in my next space by the time my 28th birthday comes. And that's just what it is. Just setting myself up for alignment with the things that I desire and want for myself. Mainly, I think that's it. Adulting is just difficult. You're not alone. If you're like 10 years younger than me, 17, 18, then girl, buckle up. You know what I'm saying? Because even when things are going great, you know, sometimes, you know, life just has setbacks, and I think that's okay. I know we all are in this era, this time frame where social media is just it feels like a constant reminder of where we are not at, what we have not done, the things we have not accomplished. But you're doing great, sweetie. I literally want to say you're doing great, sweetie. And that comes from somebody who, like, you know, don't have a clue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like so many things have stopped me from being where I want to be, but I, like, have to remind myself, like, I'm doing great. You know what I mean? I'm in the middle of prayers that I have prayed. Yeah. This was very ranty, but I hope you all took something from it. I hope you all remain positive. If you're going through something, eyes forward. Like, it's no sense in dwelling on the things that have happened. That's something that I have to constantly remind myself. There's no need to dwell on what has already went wrong. Like, how can I move forward? And I know that's easier said than done. I definitely can maybe do a video about, like, the specific things I do to remain positive. But yeah, this is it. This is my little rant. I hope you all took something from it, like I said. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.